How we doing? Just going to make sure we're set up here. Just going to get us. If you think I'm looking down here, it's because I've got the bigger screen on my laptop and got my my screen set up on YouTube, so I can see the comments and stuff a bit easier. Joe, you missing my sports photography videos? Yeah, man, I know. That's something which a lot of followers of this channel don't even necessarily know that I've got that as well. But yeah, I do. My sports photography channel is still there, right? And I absolutely intend on getting some more content on there soon. It's just been real busy and been a real crazy time. So I absolutely intend on getting that back, though. I really do. That's the idea. Thank you for watching both, man. I appreciate it. There's a handful of people who watch both channels, and I'm really grateful for you guys. So thank you. I think you guys can hear me all okay, but any problems, or if you can't hear me or anything, just let me know. Now, if you wonder why I've got the screen upright like this, it's because we might have a couple of people join us as we go. We'll see how we do. Oh, and in fact, here we go. I've got somebody who's going to join in just 1 second, which is good to see. So give me 1 second, and I will get our first little guest in here. Might just be the one guest. We'll see how we go. Not going to have people on for too long. Just kind of little bits here and there, because I know a lot of these guys are real busy. But maybe we'll get some like 5-minute cameos from 1 or 2 people if we get people in. What do we got? Got some of the comments rolling in. Got a few people in too. We've got 10 of you guys there. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Joe, you can hear me. Thank you. Loafer Sheffield, perfect timing. Just watched Sabaton's Christmas Truce music video. Sabaton, some good stuff there, man. Some of the other history guys are massive on Sabaton, right? I like Sabaton. I can't say I've always been like a massive fan who's followed it all the time, but I certainly am a Sabaton fan with what they do and the history and how they do it is real clever. I think, right? It's clever how they do some of that stuff. I drove across France with Chris from vlogging through history, with us playing Sabaton pretty much the whole way. So I know a fair bit of their stuff. So what I thought we'd do was just a bit of a live chat, really. The reason for that is normally I get my videos to go live on Wednesdays, and Wednesday next week is Christmas Day. And I thought, man, who's going to be watching my videos on Christmas Day? So instead of that, I thought I would just do a bit of a live stream today. I'm going to have a video go live next week. Spoiler alert, it's going to be Ypres in a day. Ypres, Eeps, Wipers, however you want to say it. Ypres in a day is going to be the video that will go live next week. But I'll probably delay it and do it on like Friday or something rather than Wednesday, just to give it a fighting chance of going live. Right, look, let's get our first person in here, because we've got someone who, if you guys like history on YouTube, you might recognize this guy right here. Let's just bring him in. There we go.
Hey man, there we go.
Hey man, how are you? You right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just watching you over here.
Oh, you're watching me? I can wave to myself.
Inception. I made it.
Nice. You made it, man. Awesome. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, no worries, man. You can hear me well as well? It's good?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, I got a hat on just as you, because I didn't do my hair. It's a bit
I don't really have any hair to do, man. So
that is true.
I've got the hat anyway. So nice, man. So I mean, look, most people are going to know Sander. I think Sander from SanderVK History. He's been on this channel before. He's got his own videos. Does lots of work, not just on his own channel. Does lots of work with like animations and stuff on some of the biggest history channels out there, right? Which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm now leaving my own YouTube channel a little bit behind, because I'm working on a documentary and I'm editing for JD as well, and I'm starting up the tourist business together with Sean.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty busy.
You know what? Whoever we get in, and hopefully we'll get a couple of the other guys in at some point as well. What I was going to say is like, what's the plans for 2025, man? Because I know you've got some big ones, right? What are you going to be doing?
Yeah, so in February 1st, we are going to launch my new company, SanderVK Tours. So
Nice.
Sean and I are starting our own company in that. So maybe you've seen Sean as well from. They probably recognize them from your videos. Has he ever been in a video of yours?
Yeah, yeah, he certainly popped up in one or two, I think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he's also in some videos of mine. He is the YouTuber himself. But yeah, we're starting our own touring company. So World War I, World War II stuff, specialized in Market Garden. Yeah, that's what we're doing on the 1st of February, and then on the 17th of September, I hope, because it's a lot of work, I hope to release the first episode of the documentary.
Oh, nice. 17th of
So
September. You're hoping for?
yeah, 17th September. So yeah,
Awesome.
it is a long way still. It's still 9 months, but I need that. Where I haven't even finished up the first episode. So
Well, there's, I mean,
yeah,
man, there's so much work goes into what you do there, right? It's not like,
dude.
if
Yeah.
if I'm in a real rush, I'll edit a video in a day, and I know it's not I know it's not
Oh
like
yeah.
that with what you're doing.
No.
So yeah,
If I my last I think the really well edited video was Buchenwald, and that took me a long time. It had a break with it because sometimes when you work so long on one project, all of a sudden it becomes a little bit of a stretch,
oh
and
yeah,
you have all different ideas to do, right? And then you're just hopping on different videos to edit. But yeah, that one took me a lot of effort.
yeah, I can imagine, man. I bet it did. Yeah, and so this is your documentary that's coming is Market Garden, right?
Yeah, Operation Mark Garden,
Nice.
probably the highest detailed documentary of Operation Mark Garden. So
Oh man, nice.
yeah, that's
I'm looking
ever
forward to
that's
that, man.
ever been made. So yeah.
Nice,
Well, I'll do my best.
nice,
I hope it doesn't flop, and I hope that I reach the deadline.
nice. And so man, the tours that you're going to be doing, I know you're going to do all different bits, but I guess Market Garden's going to be like a big part of that, right?
Yeah, it's a speciality, right? So if people want to book the Somme, I know a lot of stuff, not as much as you from the Somme. So maybe we can hire you in to maybe do a tour as well.
I
But
don't know,
you'll be a
man.
tour guide.
There's
The
people
Somme.
who know it an awful lot better than I do. But yeah,
Hey, but still, you're a pretty knowledgeable guy about the Somme. But if we go to the Somme, then we'll just go to like yeah, the main places that people need to see in the Somme, of course. But if we are here in Market Garden, I can go to places that people don't really know about and tell more about that stuff
yeah,
because I am so specialized in Market Garden. So I'm not that specialized as in the Somme or in Normandy or stuff like that. But
sure. That's going to
but
be really
I
good.
know Sean and we know a lot of historic places. So and
Yeah,
also places that people probably never go to.
yeah, man,
So
awesome.
that's what we offer.
And how do people, and if anyone watches this now or later on, if they want to find it, it's SanderVK Tours, right? Is like on
Yeah,
Instagram and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Instagram, Facebook, and the website is www.sandervktours.com. The website is still in maintenance. So if you go on the before 1st of February, there's a quiz that people can do just in the
nice.
meantime. And when it gets released on the 1st of February, then everything goes live, of course. But now
Awesome.
you can already really email me on my email and reach out for a tour already.
Nice. And are you
So
guys
that
doing like, is it like set tours that people can book onto on certain dates, or are you doing like private groups
no,
and stuff?
private groups. So people
Nice.
come to us. They tell us what they want to see, where they want to go. If they say I want to go to the Somme and make me a tour for in the Somme for like
Okay.
2 days, then we'll specialize it to your needs. Then of course I will tell you, okay, these are some places that we are going to see and the stories that I'm going to tell. If they want to be a surprise, then we'll let it be a surprise. But if somebody has like a grandfather who fought on this in this
Yeah.
regiment or somewhere, then we can go to those spots and really customize the tours to their needs.
Wow.
So
Some of those
yeah.
kind of tours are really good as well, man. The ones where, like, I've made videos like that where you like follow in certain people's footsteps or certain
Hmm.
like units footsteps, and they're really
Yeah,
interesting things to do. Yeah, man, that's cool.
yeah,
Really good. Nice.
yeah. So that's
Nice.
going to be fun, and we want to do maybe one tour that we are going to plan ahead, and then probably invite you as well, and JD and Chris and Marcel and Nick. You know, a little bit of
Man,
that group, and if
yeah,
people want to
I'd
come
be
along
there.
and join,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's going to
definitely.
be something that we have in mind. But in 2 weeks time, on the 6th of January, Sean is coming over, and then we are going to do a 5-day road trip from Arnhem all the way down to Overloon, all the way down to
Nice.
Bastogne, Verdun, Somme, back up to Vimy Ridge, Ypres, and then we'll drive back. And we're just going to film a lot of marketing videos.
Nice, man. That's going to be really good. Nice.
Yeah,
When are you doing that?
that's
End
gonna
of
be fun.
January, are you doing that?
Yeah, 6th of January we are
6th
going.
of Jan.
So
Oh, nice, man. Nice.
yeah,
Get your
that's gonna be fun.
coat and hat, man. It's going to be cold out.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold. Yeah, but we're going to make some funny videos as well, some stupid videos, some serious videos, some
Nice.
informative shorts, and all to promote the tour. So
Awesome, man. Awesome.
yeah,
Nice.
it's gonna be
Nice.
fun. And what are your plans?
I'm gonna do so. My next official planned thing is at the end of January. I'm going with We Happy Few to the tour. It's over. I think it's based from Liège, and we're going to go
Hmm.
do some of the Masters of the Air stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I'll yeah, gonna be. I'm doing that one. Marcel is coming. Marcel from History War Cinema channel. Anyone who doesn't
Hmm.
know who I mean when I just say Marcel. Chris,
Great
Vlogging
channel.
Through History, Chris. Yeah, so those guys are going to be there as well, and
Yeah.
do some of that one. That should be really good, man. We're going to do that, and
Hmm.
I'll probably film a couple of Masters of the Air videos, and then around on that same trip, I'm going to go. I haven't worked out exactly where yet, but I'm going to go and do
Hmm.
something World War One based to film some videos. Maybe up on the North Coast, possibly like the kind
Oh.
of the end of the front line or the start of
Hmm.
the front line, depending on which way you look at it, where the trenches went into the beach and literally met the sea on the North Coast. I'm maybe going to go up there. Maybe
Oh yeah, that's
Mons. I'm
nice.
still working it out, but I'm
Oh
going to
yeah.
film some
It's
stuff.
also what's that place called again? It's Mos de Machi or something like that, where you have like the hand, the mountain. It's in the form of a hand. Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah,
The,
yeah, I know
it's
what
all the
you
way
mean. Yeah,
northeast. It's all the way
yeah,
east from France, northeast.
yeah.
It's also
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah,
Have you been
I
there?
forgot the name. And when I was little, when I was a
Yeah.
child, so I can't remember. But I have some photos as well on my computer that my dad made back then and stuff. And it's still like complete trenches intact, which they sort of rebranded. There's no, you don't have to pay for it. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty cool. Still
Wow.
helmets laying around and stuff like that, and people they
Wow.
trust in the people to not take stuff.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
Man,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
So
I'll definitely I'll try and get there at some point. Yeah, man. That sounds real
yeah,
good.
definitely
Yeah,
do.
and in terms of the set stuff I've got planned in, I'm there. I'm doing a trip to down to the Somme actually on I can't think when, sometime in June. I'm down that way.
Mm. Oh,
Gonna
maybe
go
I
do that.
can
That'll
go
be
as
good.
well.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
we can
man.
meet up.
Yeah. I haven't really got any set plans around it yet, but definitely going to do
Yeah.
something June time probably. And then we'll see. There'll be other stuff too. I'll be doing some other trips in there as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
be really good.
I
Really good.
I really wanted to go to the We Happy Few tour again.
Mm.
Just it's been a while for me, but
Yeah.
then I have so much stuff to do now. In January I'm going away, and then in March I'm going to Egypt. Need to pay for that flight as well. Going to
Nice.
Egypt with Chris, so that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. That man, that's going to be really good. Yeah.
That's
Nice.
gonna be awesome. It's like a 7-day, 6-day tour, or even longer maybe. I'm
Wow.
not sure.
Wow.
That's gonna be
That'd be really
that's
good.
gonna be something.
I've never been out there. I've never been to Egypt. Yeah, that would be that'd be
Meaning,
really good.
the furthest I ever been was in Cyprus, and that was with high school, and it was on an exchange, like a school
Wow.
exchange,
Yeah.
something like that. Because my English was so good when I was younger, and that's why I was allowed to go to Cyprus. But that's really the only country far away that I've been through.
Wow. It's a
Hmm.
different type of history, right? I mean, I'll still
Yeah.
find it fascinating, but I wouldn't claim to know too much about it. Ancient history is I know some stuff, right? I know a little bit of Egyptian stuff, a little bit of Roman stuff, but not
Yeah.
in any kind of detail.
Same.
So
Yeah. Same. I do know
yeah.
some. I do know more about Marcus Aurelius's period and a little bit
Mhm.
before than anything else. Like it's just some little common knowledge that I know about the Romans and stuff, but not really. I know that the pyramids were built by aliens. That's what I do know. But
There's a lot of people would tell you they are. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Is the rest also coming on as well? I think
I
JD
don't
is
know, man.
joining as well,
Yeah,
right?
maybe. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll do. I'll see if there's. I don't know. I'm sure we don't have them queuing up, but we'll see if there's there might be someone else jumping on a little bit later. Yeah, we'll
I'll
see.
call JD for you. Come and hop on Rob's stream. I'll do that after this.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Nice, man. So what about 2024? What's your highlight been? Where's your best place that you visited? Because I know we've been to a couple of spots
Ooh.
together, but I know you've been to a few other bits too. You went to Waterloo, didn't you? I remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I went. Yeah, I went to Waterloo as well with my dad and with Marcel. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That
I
was
bet that
pretty
was good.
cool. Yeah. You every oh JD is here as well.
Oh,
You
there he
you hear
is.
so much about the Battle of Waterloo and how important it was back then, and that Napoleon got defeated, and finally when you are there, it's I wouldn't say surreal, but it's close to surreal.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. You
Hmm.
know what? I've driven past that battlefield like, oh man, I mean
Oh
probably
really?
20 times. Yeah, 'cause I mean I have some family who live in Brussels, so I've been over that way quite a lot, but I've never been to it.
Mm.
So I've got to get there soon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's cool when you go on top of the little hill that the
Yeah.
Dutch built with the statue.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
Dutch lion statue, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, yeah. It is made by the Dutch for the French. I'm not sure, but if you stand on there, there's like a plaque with like a map animation with like a map on it with arrows and stuff where everybody were standing back then, and that's really cool. So if you stand there and you have like a big view, you can really see how the battle unfolded. You
Wow.
can see the
Wow.
different famous farms and stuff. Yeah, that's really cool.
Wow. Man. Awesome. Awesome.
Hmm.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
And for
Well,
you?
look, man. So for me, I reckon probably. Cool, man. What's my um I I tell you what I mean. So obviously we were in Ypres and the Somme together
Hmm.
this year, right?
Yeah,
So
that was the
obviously
best trip this year.
that was the best
Yeah.
trip. Yeah, 100%. That was amazing. But
Yeah.
in terms of I tell you what I really enjoyed this year. I've spent a fair bit of time getting out to a few sites in the UK. So obviously
Yeah, that's really
I
cool.
went up to like Thorpe Abbots and did some of that, but also just some sites more local to me. I've been to a few sites related to the Battle of Britain and some of the places around
Hmm.
London, and I've found
Yeah,
that really interesting. And yeah, places I hadn't been to before, which is it's kind of it almost made me reset a little bit and think, man, you know what? There is so many historical places around the UK
yeah,
that
yeah,
I could probably get a year's worth of content without leaving the country. So
definitely. And not
I'm excited to carry on getting some of the UK stuff in.
yeah, and not
Yeah,
only World War II as well as some Rome stuff because JD
yeah,
did that
man,
as well.
yeah. That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. All,
definitely.
all right. Should I leave you to it, and then
Cool,
JD can
man.
join?
Yeah, man. Look, thank you so much for jumping on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. No worries.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
man.
having me.
Nice
And
one.
I
Cheers,
look
man.
forward because next year we need to plan a trip again.
Yeah, we
Definitely
do.
with the
We
group.
do. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice one, man.
Probably will.
Thank you very much.
All right.
See you
Cheers,
real soon,
buddy.
man. Cheers, man.
Bye bye.
And look, if any of you guys don't already follow SanderVK History on YouTube and Instagram and everyone else, you should. And he's going to be doing. I know we kind of talked about it, right? He's setting up his tour company, which is going to be really interesting. He knows a huge amount about that market garden battlefield area. Not just Arnhem, all that whole area knows loads about it, and it's really really interesting, and I think that'd be fascinating. I've just seen, man. Look, thank you so much to Loafer Sheffield. I've got a super chat. You know what, man? I think you might be my first ever live chat YouTube super chat. So thank you so much, man. I really really appreciate it. A book recommendation: Martin Middlebrook's First Day of the Somme. Yeah, that's a really good book. I've read it myself. It's an older book. I think he wrote that in. I think maybe he wrote that in like the 1970s. He's no longer with us actually now, Martin Middlebrook. But yeah, really good book. First five listings on eBay, less than a fiver. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can get that for a real good price, and it's really really worth it. I learned a lot about the first day of the Somme around that, and I like how he includes the stories of some individual soldiers in that book as well. So that's really really good. Awesome. Right, We've got another special guest, I think, coming in here. How do I press? Oh, it disappeared from the screen. Oh, sorry, JD. My button to let you on has just gone. What happened there? I'm going to work out how to do it. I'm hoping it might reappear or something on my screen. Oh, hang on. There we go. It did reappear. Has that worked? Yeah, there we go.
Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
I'm good. How we doing? All right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, good.
Just giving me a good distraction from work right now.
Yeah. You editing a video there?
Yes. Yeah, working on
Nice.
some Guadalcanal stuff right now.
Oh man, I tell you what, I'm so excited for that. I watched your funny actually just a couple of hours ago. I watched your first video of that series, the Australia one. That was really
Yeah,
good. That was really
yeah,
cool.
MacArthur's
Nice.
headquarters in Brisbane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That looked really good. That looked really good. I've never been to Australia at all. So I it's definitely not somewhere I've been. But man,
I've
that looked
I've
good.
barely been there. So yeah, so
You've been
that
kind of
that
in and
video
out, right?
was yeah, that video was filmed just on a long layover.
Wow.
I arrived like mid-morning, I think. And then the flight to Guadalcanal didn't go out until the next morning, so I had
Okay.
pretty much just an afternoon to spend there in Brisbane. So
Wow.
went downtown, went to MacArthur's headquarters, and yeah, didn't get to
Nice.
spend near enough time there, for sure.
Yeah, I bet there must be quite a bit around. Not just Brisbane. There was a lot in Melbourne too, right? They had a lot of guys were stationed there on the gaps and stuff. I bet there's quite a bit along that Australian coast. I would have thought
Yeah,
probably a fair bit.
the recommendations that I've received the most have been the Australian War Memorial, a
Okay.
museum in Canberra.
Oh
And then
yeah.
I've also had a lot of people recommend Darwin.
Oh wow.
That's
Nice.
that's another one. So yeah, I
Nice.
definitely need to get back to Australia at some
Yeah.
point and
Nice.
film some stuff. Maybe do a little hunting while I'm down there. They they got some pretty cool animals down there that look pretty tasty.
Well, funny enough, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday who was telling me that apparently kangaroo steak is delicious. So there you go.
I, I've had I've had kangaroo jerky, but I don't know if that
Oh,
really
okay.
counts. Yeah,
I don't know if it's quite the same as kangaroo steak. No,
yeah, I
kangaroo
have.
jerky. Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
I would try it.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to try it. I haven't tried. I've tried a couple of little bits, but nothing. Certainly not any kangaroo. And the other one we were talking about was crocodile. They were telling me it tastes like chicken,
Okay, so
which
I've
I
had
haven't.
alligator. I haven't had
Oh,
crocodile, but
okay,
I've ate alligator, and yeah, it's real good. It's
nice.
quite tasty. So if it tastes anything like alligator, it's good stuff.
Him in the chat saying that kangaroo is delicious as well. So there
Yeah.
you go. I didn't think we'd be talking about how kangaroo tasted on this live chat. So there you go. Oh man. So what have you got? What have you got coming? So Guadalcanal. That's like is that next up? Is the next video actually on Guadalcanal?
Yeah, yeah. So the very
Oh,
next
nice.
video will be our first day in
Wow.
Guadalcanal. It'll cover Red Beach, where the First Marine Division landed
Wow.
in August 1942. And then we also go to the war memorial there. And then after that, we go to the islands of Tulagi and Gavutu and Tanambogo. I'm pretty excited about those. Like Tulagi, a lot of people don't realize this, but for the Americans, Tulagi was the very first piece of ground that American servicemen stepped foot on
Oh
in the
wow.
Second World War. So
Oh wow.
even before Guadalcanal, so
Yeah.
Marine Raiders went up there and attacked
Oh
the island of Tulagi. Um, so yeah, before North Africa, before any of that stuff, this is
wow.
where it all began. And I don't know that there has been a whole lot of people in the YouTube world who have gone to these islands and
Oh yeah. I
yeah,
don't think
explored
there's
and
there's
showed them
hardly
stuff
there's
like that.
hardly anyone, right? I certainly haven't
Yeah.
seen it if there is. So yeah.
It's
Wow.
it's so stinking hard to get to.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
that kind of makes it a little bit of a limiting factor. But went with Dave Holland, who has the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Guadalcanal Walking a Battlefield. Just a wealth of information.
Wow.
He just recently signed a book deal,
Oh,
and is focusing in on one specific part of the Guadalcanal campaign. So
oh,
yeah, I get to
nice.
hear quite a bit from him too.
Man, that's good. Wow.
Yeah.
And so how many videos do you think we're looking at? What have you got a series planned out at this stage, or are you seeing how it goes?
Yes. Yeah, looking at about 10 to 12 videos
Oh,
out of this,
wow.
probably.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
So it's
I'm really excited about these. I've got to say, I love the. I guess because it's probably one of the World War II theaters that I know. I know some stuff, but not like I would nowhere near claim to be any kind of an expert on it. So I always love those kind of series when I learn loads from it as well as being entertained by it. So I'm looking forward to it. Really
yeah,
good.
good. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it delivers.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Do you get up to your neck in seawater in this series, or do you not want to give it away? Last time you were in the
No,
Pacific, you ended up swimming
no.
out there, right?
Yeah, the last time I was in the Pacific, went to Saipan and Guam and Tinian, and yeah, that was the one where I went out to the tank wrecks
Yeah,
out in the middle of the lagoon. Um, yeah, but I mean, I have a lot of people, you know, anytime I post something from Europe, they'll say, "Man, when are you going to get back to the Pacific? When are you going to do
yeah,
Pacific?" Pacific never gets touched on, and that's because it's so hard to get to,
yeah,
and
yeah,
um, like Europe is. I don't want to say it's easy, but I can catch a flight from Chicago to Paris and be there in 7 hours.
yeah, yeah.
My flight from San Francisco to Brisbane was 14 hours by itself.
That's crazy.
Um, yeah, and then spent the night there, and then it was another 3.5 hours to get up to Guadalcanal. So
Wow. And can you just fly straight in there, or do you have to do you have to get a boat or something at any point? I'm not really familiar with kind of how rural it is out there. Is it
no,
you can fly into the island, can you?
yeah, you can fly into the island. As a matter of fact, the
Okay.
airport is basically Henderson Field, which is the
Oh wow.
airfield that the Japanese were building
Yeah, yeah,
and that the U.S. went and took. So everything with the Guadalcanal campaign revolves around Henderson Field.
yeah.
The U.S. is trying to take and hold it, and the Japanese are trying to take it
Mm.
back. Um,
Wow. Wow,
so
that's cool.
yeah, so when your plane lands, you're basically hitting this historic airstrip.
Wow.
The airstrip from the time is a little bit offset from the modern one,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's all right there. Yeah, it
Wow.
was quite an experience. So
Wow, that's awesome. And what's your obviously? I mean, maybe we've just answered it with the place we've just been talking about. But what's 2024 been like with your travels? Where's your favorite place that you've been to?
oh gosh, um, I took two different trips with World War II veterans this year.
Yeah,
So one to Normandy for the 80th anniversary, and then literally just last week got back from the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge. Had five
yeah,
veterans
yeah,
that we traveled with there with Andrew Biggio, who's author of a book called The Rifle and The Rifle Two. Um, it, it won't be long until you know those guys are all going to be gone.
yeah,
So it's pretty special to be able to travel to the battlefields with those guys. Um, I'm trying to think what else kind of stood out for me. Obviously, Guadalcanal. I mean that was
yeah.
just a wild experience.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and then the the time that I spent in Arras for the Battle of Arras series, I really enjoyed Vimy Ridge.
yeah,
Again, that's another one of those battles that doesn't get a whole lot of attention.
yeah.
Uh, so
Definitely.
so I so I really enjoyed going there and spending some time and hanging out with you guys for a little bit. Um, the thing that's really nice about World War One battlefields, especially Arras, in large part, a lot of times you have the battlefield to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so went from Normandy, where there was a billion people for the
Yeah.
80th
Yeah.
anniversary, to these places in Arras that, I mean, it was just me. Vimy Ridge had a few people,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah.
Yeah, they do. Vimy Ridge is a really interesting one, right? I like Vimy Ridge because I think the bit that always surprises people is there's the piece they're expecting, which is where they've like recreated the trenches, but then
Mhm.
just the ground around it, it's like it looks like the surface of the moon, right? It's just
Yeah,
crater after crater after crater. Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
and
interesting.
I mean, I know that there would be people who would disagree with me. I think that Vimy Ridge, the Vimy Memorial, is probably one of the finest war memorials that has ever been built.
Oh, it's
Um,
really impressive, right? Yeah.
it it had more of an impact on me than any other memorial I've been to, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, you go to Verdun, at the Douaumont ossuary, and there's the bones in there, and
Oh, yeah.
that's honestly
Yeah.
pretty moving. But I don't know, there was something about the Vimy Memorial that just really impacted me, and it might be because I have some sort of affinity towards the Canadians as well. As a matter of fact, this is the book I'm reading right now.
Oh, nice.
And We Go On,
Oh,
by a
okay.
guy
Wow.
named Bill Bird, who was a Canadian soldier in World War One.
Nice.
It's really good so far. I'm about halfway through it, but
Oh,
uh,
wow. Nice. Nice. And in fact, I saw you just finished Robert Graves' book, right? And you found it a bit of a struggle. You said.
it that yeah, um, that book, um,
I should maybe say it's one of the ones I haven't actually read yet. So I've
okay,
um
well,
I've
I
read
don't.
I've read quite a few of them, but for whatever reason I haven't got to that one yet. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So the book we're referring to is Goodbye to All That.
yeah, yeah,
And anytime I would type in something on Google about World War One memoirs, it was like that always pops up top of the
yeah. It
list
always
as
does.
like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like the definitive World War One memoir. I don't feel so bad now that I hadn't read it, knowing that you haven't read it either.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but I felt like I was running through red clay reading
hmm,
that book. And
yeah,
I got a third of the way through it, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I don't know what it was. I mean, he doesn't come across as the kind of guy that I would just hang out with.
mm,
Um,
okay, yeah,
in real life, like there wasn't much that I was connecting with him on. The book was just a slog to get through. The middle third was pretty good. It was
yeah,
okay. But man, then I got to the last third, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was
yeah,
it was just brutal. And I thought, maybe there's something that I'm just missing. So yeah, I made a post yesterday or a couple days ago. I
yeah,
just finished the book, you know, gave a little bit of my opinions on it, and I found a lot. I thought, man, I'm going to get butchered for saying this, because this is supposed to be, like I said, the definitive World War One memoir. And I had a lot of other people saying, yeah, I've read it too, and it was a struggle for me. Um,
yeah.
so
Somebody else I've heard talk about it said it was like slightly different style, and that's the trouble, right? Is obviously a lot of these memoirs were written a long time ago, so some of them are a different style of writing. It's
yeah,
there's a few which Siegfried Sassoon, that's quite good. In fact, I think it was Al Murray on Twitter I saw said to you that was a bit easier going, and that's quite good. I've read that. For the life of me, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head now. But
yeah. Is it?
um
I can't either. But
yeah,
yeah,
I'll
I saw
find it.
that. I saw that comment where they said, "Well, you have to keep in mind the time that it was written."
Mm,
Well, I read John Tucker's "Johnny Get Your Gun."
yeah,
That was
yeah,
probably written. I think it was a little bit later in life that he wrote that. But this one right here,
yeah.
I mean, this was written, I think, in the 1920s or 1930s.
Oh wow.
So it's I'm trying to find the copyright date here, but so it was written, fairly soon. Let's see. First published 1930. So that's not long after the war. That's
Yeah.
that's
No.
that's
Yeah.
pretty fresh.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
he yeah.
no. No. Go on. That's right.
Yeah, he wrote it uh, kind of in response to other memoirs that he was seeing. Like he was reading other memoirs, and he was like, this was not my experience." I think All Quiet on the Western Front
Yeah.
was the one that he read, where he was like, "This is bull crap."
Yeah. Yeah.
This doesn't reflect my experience at all. So anyway, he then published his own memoir, and it's I'm really enjoying it so far.
Yeah. See, I just looked. Siegfried Sassoon was the. It's called the Memoirs of an Infantry Soldier. So
Okay.
that's his. That's quite. It was a while ago I read that one, but I found that okay, and I think it's some of these guys are some of these guys had little or to none experience of writing prior to writing those memoirs, right? And some of them were writers and therefore chose to do put their memoirs to pen to paper. So I think it varies quite a bit, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
so
good
so
one.
I think I think Graves has the opposite problem. He's highly educated,
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
very intelligent, he's a poet, and yeah, he just comes off as very aloof to me.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just didn't like it. But I read it,
Yeah, I get it.
and I mean I finished it. Um, I didn't know
Nice.
if I was going to be able to do it or not, but I did.
Yeah, I've dragged. I must confess, it might be a slightly unpopular opinion, but and again, probably to be fair to him, probably the style of writing and when it was written. But somebody in the comments a little while ago was just talking about Martin Middlebrook's First Day of the Somme. I found the writing style in that quite a slog to get through some of that.
Okay.
I found myself almost having to reread paragraphs where I'd struggled my way through the first time, and so I need to read that a second time to understand what he was saying. So
Yeah.
that's one that I struggled with actually. Which
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, an incredible writer, and the knowledge in the books is absolutely fantastic. But I struggled with the actual style of that book a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, that's another one of those classics that I haven't read.
oh,
Um,
it's worth it. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
yeah,
It's good. Yeah,
yeah.
nice, nice. Well, look, man, I know you're busy. I can see you've got your editing program open in the background there. So I'll let you go and crack on with your work, man, because we all want to see those videos soon. So
All right,
I'll
man.
let you I'll let you crack on with your stuff.
All right. Hey, good talking to you, bud.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate
All
it.
right, see you.
Nice one. See you soon.
Bye.
Nice. There we go. We're getting all the VIPs come into the chat. I can't imagine there's anyone watching my channel here who doesn't already know JD and the History Underground. But if for some reason there is, make sure you go and subscribe to the History Underground because, well, even if you just do it now for that Guadalcanal series that is coming up, because boy, that is going to be good. JD's Pacific content, the video he talked about there, where he was on. Oh, I can't remember where the tank was. I can't remember if it was Saipan or Tinian. I think it was Saipan. That was really really good. That was probably my favorite video that he's done. So make sure you go check that out. And if you haven't seen that specific video, look back on his channel because boy, it's good. Nice. So look, we've got a few people. I saw a few comments come up when I was chatting away just there. Let me go back and see if I've missed anything big. But if if anyone has got any questions or anything, please do just add those into the comments, and I will pick up on them as we go. Joey Spears podcast. Any history podcast recommendations? Yeah, man, absolutely. I love a podcast. History podcast. What would I say? Cool, fun. I watch lots, but I tell you what, my favorite ones are the Old Front Line, which I've talked about a fair few times on my channel. Paul Reed's The Old Frontline podcast about the Great War. That's probably my favorite history podcast. That's really, really good. And I listen to that every single week. So that would be my favorite Great War podcast. There's some other really good ones as well. Footsteps of the Fallen is another good one, which I enjoy, World War One podcast. In terms of World War One and World War Two. The guys who do the Battle Guide YouTube channel have got All Quiet on the Western Front. That's a good podcast, and they've got a World War Two podcast as well. Or I can't remember the name of it. I'll look it up in a second. But those ones are really good. And then there's there's so many. I'm probably gonna come off this live chat later and think, oh, I didn't mention like one of my favorite ones because I didn't think about it. But those are some of the ones which I listen to, pretty much every week. What else have we got? Joe, I'd love to see some history on Camden. Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to do some more stuff around London. I did a couple of bits just recently. I did a couple of Battle of Britain bits, which were around London. Bentley Priory is kind of northwest London. The Runnymede Memorial is southwest, maybe not quite London, just outside of London. Then I did my video about the Blitz, London in the Blitz. That was really cool. I really found that video interesting. Making that video, that was really good, and I would definitely recommend getting out around London and doing some of that stuff if you get the chance. Just get some old photos of London and go to the spots where those photos were taken. And even if you can't line the photos up exactly, just to go there and look at the photo and think, well, this is what it used to be like here. It's a really cool experience. So do that if you get the chance. What else have we got? Kangaroo's delicious. Yeah. The more kangaroos you eat, the more you take up boxing. Oh man. Oh dear. Don't worry, I love a dad joke. Good work. What have we got? Waiting for John From was an interesting documentary. Nice. Okay, man. I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe if I watched it, I would think that I had, but I can't think I have. I could recommend some historians, but their in-depth analysis is somewhat controversial. Okay. Put some messages in chat. Yeah, well, I mean, look, man, lots of historians will have different views, right? There are some historians who think that certain historic figures are fantastic, and then there's another historian somewhere who will argue that that same historic figure was the worst thing in the world, and that's okay, right? We don't want everybody to be thinking the same thing. Otherwise, you don't get any kind of useful sort of difference of opinion or debate or people just sharing one opinion and taking that as gospel. That wouldn't be good either. I've had people disagree with me in comments on my videos and stuff, and that's totally cool. I don't mind. I don't claim to be the expert in everything I talk about. Some people will have a different opinion, and maybe a more educated or informed opinion on a topic than I do. That's cool as well. Of course, there are people in history who have opinions that I just think are straight wrong. And if that's the case, then hey, I certainly don't you have people in history, of course, who would spread hatred. And I certainly don't look at that and think, oh well, they're allowed their opinion. I think they're idiots, and I don't listen to them. Right? So different opinions are okay, depending on what it is, if that makes sense. Nice. So right, I mean, look, if we get any other questions or anything come in, then I will pick them up and answer them. But so look, I guess 2024, we're coming to an end of it, right? We've got another week or something of 2024, Christmas in a couple of days. Really cool year and a great year traveling around making videos on the channel. We early in the year, I think it was actually not that early in the year, I think it was May, went out to Ypres and the Somme and filmed some of the videos that I've been doing. In fact, I was at the Somme prior to that in March as well. Made some Somme videos, then the Ypres videos. And then actually after that, I spent a fair bit of time around the UK. So with the We Happy Few 506 tours, I went on their Masters of the Air tour where we went up to Thorpe Abbotts and a few other 8th Air Force bases as well, and around some of the different sites there. We went to the site of RAF Kimbolton. We went to somewhere else as well. Trying to think where else we were at. We went to the American Cemetery in Cambridge. That was fascinating. Went there, and that's where I made some of my Masters of the Air videos. Then I've been around the UK doing my own stuff, really. So I've done my Battle of Britain series, which I found really good. That was it was great to get some sites which aren't a million miles away from where I live, because I live in the southeast of England, which is where a lot of the Battle of Britain, and a lot of the air combat in World War II took place literally above where I live. You know, I'm on the route. If you were to fly from France to London, you would pass over the area where I live, and so you know a lot of that was around here, and a lot of those sites were very close to home, which I found really interesting. Going into 2025, so what have we got? End of January, I'm out in France and Belgium. I'm going to be making some more Masters of the Air videos, and I'm going to be back to a World War One series, which is there's definitely going to be something there from across Belgium, whether it's up on the north coast or Mons or you know that northern section of the Western Front or the first piece of fighting. I'm probably going to because the area around Mons featured very heavily at the start of the war, and then also very heavily at the end of the war. It's an area that saw fighting, and in fact, some of the first shots and then the last shots of the war, not overall, but involving the British especially, were in a very close sort of area around that Mons area. So there's definitely going to be some videos coming from there. But I'm probably going to focus those videos a bit more so on the 1914 stuff that happened around Mons. Although who knows? Sometimes when I get there, I find out something interesting, and then I make a load of content that I hadn't intended on making until I was out there on the ground. So we'll see how we go. Then later on into the kind of spring or early summer, I'm going to be out on the Somme. I'm going to have another Somme area series coming. I've done a lot of stuff on the Battle of the Somme, but that's not difficult for me to do because you could make 100 videos on the Somme and you would still have plenty of stuff to talk about. Hopefully I'm back by Ypres, Ypres, depending on how you want to pronounce it, again at some point soon. And then we should hopefully have some World War II content coming in the latter part of summer, which will probably take us through the tail end of the year, which I'm hoping, depending on how my plans go, will be a more extensive series from Normandy. Because I've touched on Normandy. I've done a few little bits on Normandy, but I haven't done a huge amount over there, and so I would like to get a whole kind of Normandy series together at some point. I've done a couple of bits around Omaha Beach. I did my kind of real like mini Sword Beach series a few months ago, but I want to get back out there and do some proper, you know, maybe if I could get kind of 2-3 videos around sort of each kind of beach area and maybe a bit inland as well if I can. That's what I'm hoping to do. Maybe we kind of get like a sort of 10 video series out of it, something like that. Joe, there's a new video series with a lot of history related stories called Life at the Manor. Good stories there too. Okay, cool. All right, man. Life at the Manor. I feel like I recognize that name, but I haven't seen it, so I will check that out. Definitely. Nice. Cool. My voice is going. I haven't been talking that much, have I? Right. Guys, I think that probably just about rounds us off. Look, it was real cool to just to do a little bit of a live stream. It was cool to get a couple of some special guests in. Thank you to Sander and thank you to JD for jumping in for a little bit of time each. Really good and good to get them on the channel. Those are some great guys who I've filmed some videos with before and spent some time in some historic places with. So it's always good to catch up with those guys. Thank you all of you for watching. If you're still watching and you haven't pressed the like button, do me a favor, press that like button for me because it just helps me out. Make sure you comment below if you're watching this later on. I know loads of people will come back and watch this later rather than watching it live, and that's totally cool as well. But if you have got a question, you think, oh man, I wish I watched it live, I would have asked a question, stick your question in the comments because this will just go live on the channel as a video after this. Stick your question in the comments and I'll come back and I will pick up on those questions when I see them. Right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to see you very soon on the next video. There will still be a video next week. So I will see you all soon enough. And I might get another live stream in either just before the new year or maybe early in January. I want to try and do live streams a little bit more often if I can. Right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.